Namaskar. I am Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today I'm going to discuss the Manipur. Manipur is burning, violence, clashes, loots, and the complete scene is not good for the state and for our country, Bharat. State government has ordered the police shoot at site. Last 3 days, government property environment and the situation in Manipur is not good. Armed mob attacked villages, set house after house on fire, ransacked shops. Parents who were scared, they are giving sleeping medicines to children. They don't would not cry and reveal the hiding place to the armed attackers. Manipur burnt on Wednesday. Today is Friday, and residents fear that could be more attacks and bloodshed in coming days. What is government is doing? It is a clash with the Imphal Valley West Metais and Hill West Cookies. You can understand this is not the new one. Unconfirmed reports of killing and lynchings are trickling. Metai is the predominant ethnic group in Manipur, and Kuki is one of the biggest tribe. And if you say that behind the violence, long-standing tension between the hill and valley people, the Meitei demand for SC status and recent order they have just given. The animosity that bred the violence, the northeast state has faced string for decades now. After witnessed violence, armed Assam Rifle personnel has been deployed in different several affected districts of Manipur. Most affected districts are Chura Chandpur, and Manipur government suspended mobile internet services next 5 days. Curfew is also imposed in several districts of state. Perception of what happened on Wednesday, what led to the violence, depends is one is listening to Metis or cookies, but it boils down to two issues: land and demography. To understand who has just created the problem about land, why don't they sort it out? In 1949, just Manipur is a part became the part of Bharat. This is some 2023. We can understand more than 72 years. Who created problem? But anyhow, last 8 9 years, the situation was so peaceful. So, as we know, Manipur is 16 districts. State land has the distinct Imphal Valley and Hill districts divide. There is Imphal Valley dominated by Metis, who are Hindus. There are 5 districts in the valley. The hill districts are dominated by Nagas and Kuki tribes. Chura Chandpur, which saw the most violence among the hill districts, dominated by Kukis and Nagas, and now they have converted into Christians, now the old Christians. Kukis dominate the full 4 of the hill districts, but they have about more than 53% of entire population, total population 28 lakhs. And the state but occupy about 10% of land area of Manipur. Manipur has home to 35 tribes, mostly Nagas, Kukis. Valley is the most populated part of the state. It not only has people from most of the tribes, but migrants from other parts of the country. We can understand who are the migrants who are trying to disturb the peace of the state and the country. The state government has to look into the matter with the government of India, government of Bharat, and sort it out problem as soon as possible. The rest of the population is scattered 90% of land area in the hill districts, and issue of status for Mighties and Cookies organization travels already in March or witnessed the protest against the move to include Mighties in SC category while in the style of the march. This is the main reason between the class and violence. We have uh, Poonam Sharma ji, welcome in this show. Poonam ji has just keep on eyes on the northeast issue, especially on this issue, has a study. So, Poonam ji, welcome to the Global Governance News. How do you analyze the situation just as erupted in Manipur between the two communities, two tribes?
Namaskar.
Okay.
Manipur got merged. It was merged with India in 1949, and in on 21st January 1972, this became an independent state. And actually, if we go to history, we can find that there are many factors which are responsible for whatever is happening today in northeast, and particularly Manipur. You see, its name was Kanglepak. Actually, Manipur's earlier name was Kanglepak. Later on, it became Manipur, of course. So, during Nehru's time, when Jawaharlal Nehru was prime minister, in his time, one Warrior Alvin, he was an ethnographer, and it seems he was associated with a missionary also. He was a missionary. He had come to Northeast, and then he had formed this NEFA. He was the architect of NEFA. So you
But he
see,
was appointed by Mr. Nehru, the first prime minister of the country.
yes, yes, yes. So Prime Minister Nehru, what he wanted to do with Northeast, you see, he instead of associating it with the mainstream India, he had made it a separate entity. Why? Why why was Northeast was segregated with the mainstream India? Why? First thing. So this in the later part, there was less attention by the central government to the northeastern states. Everyone knows this. You have to admit that there and due to this there were unemployment, there were problems, there were economic problems. So there were many problems. So in later years, what happened was people, they started, and of course, due to the impact of Christian missionaries also. So this insurgency and all secessionist tendencies they began, but in recent years, all these had come to a halt. Actually, there had been peace agreements. There had been many, peace processes. So, and Manipur, regarding Manipur, there are three main tribes: Nagas, Kukis, and
Okay.
Maitis. And recently, as we all know, the High Court decision, which was made for the scheduled tribe status to the Maitis, that was
Definitely. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reason, one of the main reason they say. But cookies, they say that according to them that Maitis are well, they are privileged, they are well privileged class, so they should not be given this. They call it a superficial reason, but there are many reasons for the violence that had erupted. That Maiti community, some time ago, they demanded an inner line permit also.
But
uh,
do you think that this is failure of the state government who
and
could not success to communicate the Kuki community just to control the violence?
you see, cookie community had once participated in the freedom struggle also. They had taken part in Indian National Congress also. That time they were not converted. So conversion had played a very important role. And cookies, they have, you see, in Manipur, the areas, the hill areas are being encroached, and they have been encroached by mainly by the missionaries, and there are so many people. So cookies also, they have, some tribes they have encroached. So this also can be a, this has added fuel to this violence, because you see, how can one have this, if there was a peaceful march,
Right.
where from the arms came. So yeah, there are many reasons, and there are, many.
But whatever violence erupted, Punamji, there is not a one day work. They're not a matter
Yes,
of 2 or 3 days.
this
This
has
may be
been
the long
this
preparation.
has been a planning to destabilize the the region. This cannot be,
Just to
because of
see,
course
you see the
government also would have some in.
fire just ablaze the house to house and the arms of looted, and how they have
Yes,
KO
yes,
is just that's why
yes.
state government has ordered suited site.
Yes, and
How to control?
Students Union had played a very important role in Northeast. Students Union have played a very important role in,
So
when it comes
this
to
time of
protest.
break,
Some time ago,
after break, I'll come to you just to know the role of the state government, role of the central government, how it is going to control, how the permanently the problems solution. So I'll just take you from you. Welcome of the break. Just discussing the Manipur, how the Manipur is just set on fire, how the Manipur is just in the grip of violence after the two communities and Kuki and the Meiti and after the High Court order on 3rd May. And Punjabi said that this is a Kuki was a part of the Indian National Congress and part of the before independence and so many things. But how they have become the party between the states, and number one, how the Cookies community in fear if the reservation ST reservation to give, will given to the Metai, he just there I think share will be cut off. I don't think so.
first of all, this politics of reservation should end.
Yeah.
I do think there are some groups, some categories in India, in Bharat, they need some reservation, but the reservation should be given according to the consideration, not on caste basis or tribe basis, because it is important for regions to, for the governments, for state governments to ensure employment opportunities, because youth, they require work. And after BJP has come, there are many opportunities, many infrastructural developments have taken place in the northeast. But recently, because have you ever heard of a bomb blast or some any
No,
such
that's
violent
okay. That's okay,
incident?
Pulamji. But how
Yeah.
they could not control it? They could not smell it. You know, how the cookie communities will just
You see, some time ago, Biren Singh government, they have suspended some. They had withdrawn the suspension piece, some operations. So because
I think some MLAs also resigned against him, and the four
yeah,
or five MLAs recently.
yeah,
I think
yeah. So
maybe the political
yeah,
reason that is different
so
thing. But after the
inside.
High Court order, it has been erupted like anything.
Yeah. So some say you can smell some kind of, some planning might be there to destabilize the whole
Yeah,
process actually. And regarding these type of violent actions and violence, earlier Manipur, some time ago, Manipur was very much in news actually. This tribal conflicts, Naga, Kuki, and then, of
yeah.
course,
The same was
mighty.
the Nagaland. How the just the Modi
Yeah,
government
yeah,
has
yeah,
the
yeah,
Naga
yes,
issues. Yeah.
yeah. But now the things have, because many peace accords had been signed, and things are had been, taking its good a good time we had been anticipating. But now this incident has really, made us. Now I think the government should take a strong stand, and it is not that you are putting army, and I think some kind of table agreement, some kind of understanding is very much required for both sides. Otherwise, this problem you cannot deal with an iron hand like this. And of course, the tribal outfits, tribal people, they should, organizations, they should come forward for because burning houses, and this is not a
This is not good. The violence at any cost should not be allowed.
this is no,
Do we
no,
think the state?
there
Yeah.
is some instigation, there are some instigating agencies behind it, otherwise it wouldn't have taken place like
So
this.
I think the state government and the government of India, government Bharat also should take the stern action against the who is the responsible for this violence. And as we know, the next 5 days, all the internet services had been suspended due to just spread the all the rumors and whatever they have adopted, and so this may be the politics of the new term, as we know it, the 2024 Lok Sabha
And
election.
one thing I would like to add here, that this is very much true, that they had been facing a sense of insecurity because of the delisting, the delisting law, which we are anticipating, as because after conversions you are not supposed to enjoy the privileges of
Yeah, that
yeah.
should be.
So
If, if you
that is
if,
the that is playing a reason, that is playing an important role,
maybe.
because
Yeah,
huh,
you're right. So if you are going to conversion, you also take the privileges of the last, the whatever SC and ST.
exactly,
The both things should
exactly.
not be go together.
Yeah, because it is seen that Christian missionaries, they are doing here forceful conversions in the northeast, and if you see the statistics, they are highly, they are mind blowing, because rapid increase in the conversions, they are
Yeah,
very much, means a worry, they create a worry, why, how it has been happening. And of course they are getting both way, they are getting benefited. If what how how it is possible that you are getting the benefits from the missionary also, and then you get a reserved status
yeah.
also.
No, that is different issue. But first, the violence should be stopped. Situation should be controlled, and
Yes,
how just government is doing. Government should be understand the sensitivity of the state. Peace should be on top priority. Then we can control the situation. After that, both parties should be properly communicated and make the awareness program by the state government. It is no any the rights of any community will be cut after giving the ST reservation to the Metai community, whatever they have been asking for the sake of the integrated development of the country. So nice, Punamji, just as you said, government should also take care, and both communities should also properly understand, as you said it, and this is also some instigated agency is working behind this just to destabilize the country. As we know, the 2024 Lok Sabha election is at hand. So there are so many things should be there, but I think the both government, state and central government are efficient to control the situation as soon as possible, as we hope for the best for our country. Thank you, Punamji, for the show, and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.